Okay, so I've been married for 5 years, and here's 5 pieces of advice that I wish I gave my younger self preparing to be married today. Number 1, keep folks out your business. Oh, this needs to be number 1. Y'all need to get this to your head. Keep people out your business. I know in our younger ages, when we had boyfriends and girlfriends, we were just like, oh my God, I need to call you, I need to tell you about what my man did or what my girl did. The moment you tell them, they no longer will like that person. I don't care if they pretend to like them secretly, they don't like your partner anymore. So the moment you tell them something negative, it will stick with them for the rest of their life. You'll be over it. You're on to the next, you guys are back in La La Land and Happy Land, and now you got this person that also has this information that you wish you never shared in the first place. Keep your mouth shut, focus on your marriage, keep everything between you and your marriage. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a friend to share certain things with, but I would keep it very minimal. Number 2, stop trying to make the person you are with be like you. You guys are 2 separate people. You are not the same. You guys did not grow up the same. You guys probably had different morals, different parenting, different lifestyles. Stop trying to make the person that you met somebody else than who they were. There's nothing wrong with getting better and being the best version of yourself, but when it comes to changing an entire person's trait, unfortunately, that's who you married, that's who you got to stick with. Because the moment you try to change them, if your partner does change, they will end up resenting you for it, and that'll probably end to divorce. Number 3, no one is perfect. I have to be very careful what I say here because no one is perfect. If your partner and you truly love each other, you guys have great communication skills, you truly love each other to the core, and your partner makes a mistake and you know they are truly sorry for that mistake, it is okay to forgive. Let go. This is not when we were younger and we had boyfriend and girlfriends, and as soon as they up one time, we were like, all right, we're done, out the door. When you are married, you have to work through the stuff that you don't like just as much as the stuff you do like. And I mean, it will humble you. It will humble you. There are things that you probably did not accept that now you kind of have to work around. And I'm not saying to continue to accept those. I'm telling you that no one is perfect, and it's okay for people to make mistakes as long as they are doing the work to better themselves. Okay, my next one is make sure you have a life outside of your partner. This is something I truly have to work on because I feel like once you are married and you start to live with them and you move away from your friends, you move away from your family, sometimes you look to your partner to be all of those things. Like my husband is just that person where everyone...
All right, so, I'm glad that there's black women online who are married teaching other black women how to stay married, right? This lady said she's married for 5 years. She's been in a relationship with this guy for 9 years, and she has some really good wisdom, right? I think, if I ever get married, I might have to follow these rules. The first thing she says, keep people out of your business. Yeah. It seemed like an obvious one, but she's right. When we were younger, I remember when I dated girls when I was younger, I would love everything that happened. You'd call up your boy and you'll talk about it. Oh man, this happened, that happened. And you're like little gossipy queens back and forth. And now I realized that your boys would look at your girl differently, especially if you would talk about perverted things you guys did. Right? Now when he sees your girl, he thinks about that perverted thing y'all did. So keep people out of y'all business. They don't need to know. They really don't need to know. And if there's bad things, let's say, and this is for a woman, if you're wives, or if you want to be wives, if you tell people stuff about your relationship, now they can't unsee it. So consider it. I had a girl one time that told me her dad was violently and abusive to her, and he sent her to the hospital and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, that's horrific. I never even met her dad before. And I told her, like, yo, I wish you never told me because I never met him. Now I got to look at him this way. And she was like, she got so mad at me for not just accepting the trauma and stuff that she'd been through. And again, a lot of people like to wear the victim jacket like a badge of honor. I don't know why, but they do. Either way, you tell me these things, I'm going to have to address these things, okay? I had a cousin, same thing. She told me that her man used to beat on her. I'm like, bro, we were just hanging out with this dude. Now you tell me he used to beat on you? Don't bring me around him ever again, because if I see him, I'm going to want to do something to him. Right? So keep that stuff to yourself. If you're in a bad situation, get into a better situation.
Everyone wants to be around him. He has the energy where as soon as he comes, the party starts. And like I told him one day, I was like, I'm sorry that you have to carry that weight of being that person for everyone. And it's hard. Like, I'm the person where I used to be the fun one. I used to do those things. So now I put myself in a position where I'm like, all right, what did I learn then that I can do better now? And that is do things that I like to do outside of my partner. Things that are my hobbies, social media, art, vision, fashion, going out to eat, hanging out with girlfriends, going on a trip. Keep those things in alignment, because the moment you stop doing those things, you're just gonna feel like empty, and that's not what you want to do in a marriage. Okay, so my next one is basically not going to sleep angry, but I want to kind of add to that. So it's okay to go to bed and y'all upset with each other, whatever, like y'all get over it. The next day, end it. Y'all can still deal with it whenever you need to deal with it, but once you've dealt with that, don't bring it up anymore. Let it go. Like, if you guys have a disagreement, fix a disagreement and move on. Or if someone says something that you don't like, make sure they apologize. One thing about me and my man, if we get upset with each other, we walk away from each other and I'll send a text. Because I'm not big on verbally communicating sometimes, because my emotions get the best of me. Honey, I will go for the jugular. Every time. And so will he. He will let me know. So what we do is we like to take a break from each other, step away, go into another room. Okay?
I get it. She's the kind of girl who she can't control herself when she's angry, and she gets flooded with emotions, and so she got to separate herself. Again, not bad advice. Not bad advice. And this is a pretty black woman who's married. Why wouldn't you want to take advice? Why would you want to follow a girl who's in her 50s, who's never been married before, telling you don't settle. Right? Don't settle. That's who you guys want to follow. I see them all the time. The Kendra G's, all these women who are older, left behind, and they go on different podcasts. They interview people, ask them, how they feel about their lives. And they're like, I don't regret anything. If I never get married, it doesn't bother me. Why you got to say that? It's so funny. When people talk about they're not going to regret something, I automatically know they regret it. I never talk about things that regret's not even part of the conversation. I did things, I moved on, I did this, because I'm always aiming for what I want to hit in life, right? You're successful if you do what you were designed to do. Like, I'm using my God-given talents to do what I'm designed to do. You feel me? I'm trying to improve and be the best I could be in what I was gifted to do, and that gives me a sense of fulfillment. Now, women, you might not feel you were put on this planet to be anybody's wife. I get it. You feel like wife is slavery. You feel like wife is bondage. I don't understand why. I mean, a married woman is a protected woman. Y'all want to believe the feminist idea of marriage, that marriage is like slavery. So let me get this right. You're married to a man who you want to follow his leadership. You want to have his kids. You sleep in bed next to him every night. You take care of him. He takes care of you. He protects you. You submit to him. He's willing to give his life up for you. That's slavery? You know who's it disrespectful to? It's really disrespectful to real slaves. You guys know nothing about slavery. People who say this know nothing about slavery. How many people have read the book, The Narrative Life of an American Slave by Frederick Douglass? How many people? How many people read that book? How many people could tell you what he talks about in that book? Slavery was a very violent, ugly institution. We're talking about slaves were beaten badly with whips and there's blood gushing. I mean, the book talks about it, but you guys don't read, so you wouldn't know it. So y'all talk about a time y'all don't even do any real research on. Again, people just yapping. Have you read the book about? To me, that's to Frederick Douglass. And by the way, this incredible book. Go to my Amazon affiliate link. You'll see there. I recommend the book. One of the best books I ever read. And it's written by a man that was born a slave. And the book is so dense with knowledge and vocabulary. I literally had to Google words because I didn't know what the hell this word was. He uses the word pious a lot. This person was pious. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell is pious? Then I figured it out. You guys can Google it because I had to Google it, right? Either way, my point is this. Marriage is nowhere near the Frederick Douglass slavery where you were, taken away from your parents and beaten and abused with impunity from a person who was essentially, your master, your God. He could tell you to do whatever he wanted you to do, and he could beat you with impunity. He could kill you with impunity. And that book, it talks about a man being slammed in the head with a hammer, and his blood and his brains gushing out of his head, and nobody did anything because it was a white man killing a slave. And y'all compare marriage to that. Y'all compare marriage to one of the worst, ugliest, egregious institutions America has ever seen. Amazing. And this is why they're choosing a bear over men. All right, if you're stuck in the woods, choose a bear. Oh, yeah, makes sense. Marry the bear. Marry the bear. Ridiculous. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel blowing up. I appreciate you guys. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you over there.